Okay, so now I just want to show you a couple things that you can do as far as naming and destructuring variable names from object literals. So first off, if you're creating an object where the key and the value are the same, if the value is a variable, then you don't have to add both. So let me show you what I mean. If we have these variables here, and let's say I want to create an object. So we'll say const person, and let's say I want to set name, or not name, first name, and I want to set that to the first name variable, right? So you would do that. And then I'll just copy that down, and this one will be last name, and this one last name, and then we have our age. Okay, so now if I come down here and do a console log of person.age and save that, of course I get 30. So I'm setting the key of first name to the value of whatever is in the variable of first name. If you do this and these are the same, you don't need to add the second one. You don't need to add the value. You can simply do this. Get rid of the colon as well. And now if I save that, we still get 30. So it saves you some typing, and I just wanted to show you this because most JavaScript developers will do this. There's no sense in repeating yourself if you don't have to. So the next thing I want to look at is destructuring. So basically what we can do here, let's say I wanted to get, well, let's create another object. So we'll create a to-do object with an ID, and let's say title, take out trash. So if I want to create a variable of ID with the ID of that to-do, I could do this. You know, I could do that and then console log the ID. But what we can do is destructure properties from the object. So we want to set this equal to the object itself, and then any properties we want to extract or destructure are going to go into these curly braces. So if I save that, you'll see I get 1. I get the same thing. If I want to take out the name, I can do that as well. So you can, well, let me log it so you can see. So you can think of this as, I'm sorry, not name, title. It should be title and title. So you can think of this as pulling these variables out of the object. And you can go multiple levels deep. Like let's say we have a user in here, and that's an object that has a name. So if I want to get that, if I come down here and I destructure user, I'm just going to log that for now and save that, and you see that it'll pull out the object, this entire user object. If I want to get the name or any other property, what I could do is put a colon here, open up another set of curly braces, and we want to take the name from the user. So now if I come down here, I should be able to just console log name. Now another thing we can do is rename properties or keys. So let's say I'm destructuring ID, but let's say I want to rename it to to-do ID. If I want to do that, I can put a colon and then just do to-do ID like that. And then if I come down here and I console log to-do ID, I get 1. Okay, so this and this might be a little confusing. Just keep in mind that when you use the curly braces, you're destructuring. If you don't, then you're just renaming. Now, we can also destructure arrays, and I know we're talking about objects in the last few videos, but I figured it's relevant here to show you this stuff, even though it does have to do with arrays. So I'm going to create an array called numbers, and we'll set that to just whatever, 33. And let's do one more. Okay, and I just want to put a comment here that we can destructure arrays. Oops, that should be a comma. All right. So the way that we do this is we create variables for starting at the beginning for the first, second, third, and so on. All right, so let's say const, and then the way we destructure arrays is going to be with brackets. Okay, objects we use curly braces, and arrays we use brackets. We're going to set that to the array name, which is numbers, and then in here I'm going to say first and second. So what this will do, you'll see if I console log first and second, it's going to give me the first two elements, the first two values in the array, 23 and 67. And of course, if I put third in here, that would be the next one, 33. Now, if you want to get the rest of the numbers and put them into a variable as an array, we can use what's called the rest operator. Now, it's a little confusing because the rest operator is the same as the spread operator. It's the 3 dots. But in this use case, it's often called the rest operator. And the way we use that is instead of just putting third, which would just get the next one, we would do 3 dots and then a variable name, oftentimes called rest. And then what I'll do here is log first, second, and rest. Now what you'll see is we're logging the first and second, 2367, and then rest contains an array with the rest of the values in that array. In this case, is 33 and 49. If I put in 52 here and save, that's going to get added to the rest array. And just to show you, I can change this to anything. I'll just say, we'll say nums, and then if I come down here and I do nums, that's going to give me the same thing. But I'm just going to put that back to rest. Okay, so I know it's a little confusing, spread operator, rest operator. It's just when you use it in this instance or in this use case, then you might see it called the rest operator. All right, so that's it. In the next video, I want to talk a little bit about JSON.